Hi guys, today I will show you all the cancelled plants that was originally planned to be included in the game but completely removed. I did the same thing when I was just starting my channel, and I don't like the outcome of it. So I'll be doing this. I did my research and found 10 plants that is worth to discuss. If you're wondering where did I found these plants, I put a link in my description. So just look for it. Before we start, please consider clicking that subscribe button. It's free and it will help me a lot. So to start this list, we have beet. According to PvZ2 Wiki, beet from Plants vs. Zombies Adventures was originally going to be in this game. Had it not been scrapped, it would have been the first plant from Plants vs. Zombies Adventures to be added into Plants vs. Zombies 2. Though, Plants vs. Zombies Heroes has used a very similar design to the scrapped beet as a nod to his appearance in Plants vs. Zombies Adventures. This was due to the early artistic influences from the cancelled Plants vs. Zombies Adventures in development of PvZ Heroes. As for its ability, he headbutt zombies, and each headbutt damaged all the zombies on the attack tile. I think beet is not really cancelled and replaced to a better plant, which is headbutter lettuce. The difference is headbutter lettuce can throw a butter to zombies. And for its design, it really looks like fat beet. Of course they are both originated from the plant beetroot. I almost forgot. As stated on Wiki, beet was replaced by bok choy. So now you know what bok choy originally looked like. In the development of Plants vs. Zombies 2, there was a plant called Tactical Cuke. However, one of the artists of the game named Mark Barrett decided to completely scrap Tactical Cuke from the game. Why? Well, according to Barrett, it came down to the potential impact it would have on gameplay. If they introduced a mechanic that could easily wipe out an entire screen of zombies, then they would have to design the game in a way that would force the player to use it. This would mean creating levels and challenges that forced players to rely heavily on the Tactical Cuke, potentially making the game feel repetitive and less enjoyable over time. So it is marked overpowered. Though it has been scrapped in PvZ2, Tactical Cuke later added as a power-up for the Chinese version of Plants vs. Zombies 2. So, how can you explain this? And this? Please just fix this bugs, I'm begging you. I don't really know if they are not aware of this bugs or they're just not giving a damn thing. Another scrapped plant from Plants vs. Zombies was the Ampliflower. This plant was meant to boost the abilities of other plants nearby, similar to how Moonflower provides a power-up in the game. Unfortunately, the concept of the Ampliflower proved to be too complex and overpowered. Mark Barrett, an artist working on the game, explained that it would have made gameplay too complicated and unbalanced. Essentially, having a plant that could amplify the abilities of other plants to such a degree would have made it too easy for players, making the game less fun and challenging overall. When you think about it, having a plant with the combined power of all the power mints does seem incredibly overpowered. It's no surprise that the developers ultimately decided to cancel Ampliflower. Next plant we got Roto Shroom. Roto Shroom was a plant in Plants vs. Zombies 2. It would throw projectiles at zombies, increasing its damage over time. Each spore it launched dealt 40 damage to zombies it hit. When given plant food, it could throw a powerful spore that dealt 200 damage to every zombie in the lawn. One of the advantages of the Roto Shroom was its cost. It only required 75 sun to plant, which made it cheaper than some other plants with similar abilities such as Peashooter that cost 100 suns. Roto Shroom functions a lot like Blooming Heart. They both did damage over time to zombies. But the big difference was the sun cost. Roto Shroom only needed 75 sun, while Blooming Heart needed at least 150 sun, which is double. Even though they did the same damage, Roto Shroom was more budget-friendly. Even though the Roto Shroom sounds cool, I think it was replaced by Spore Shroom. Well, Spore Shroom is the only lobbing shroom plant in Plants vs. Zombie 2. Moving to the next plant, Dart Shroom. Dart Shroom was a unique plant plan for Plants vs. Zombies 2. It had a specific rule for where it could be planted, only in the first 5 columns on the lawn. Dart Shroom shot darts at zombies, each dart dealing 33 damage. equivalent to red stingers damage. In terms of sun cost, the dart shroom was priced at 100 sun, making it a good plant. If you compare it to red stinger's sun cost, which is 150 suns, dart shroom only needs 100 suns to be planted. Another thing is its fast recharge rate. This meant that once you planted dart shroom, you didn't have to wait too long for it to be planted again. Red stingers also have a similarity with dart shroom. It is the specific rule for where it could be planted. Following this, we got Roto Shroom. Roto Shroom was a plant for Plants vs. Zombies 2. It's unique plant that you can control over its attacks. Unlike other plants that automatically targeted zombies, Roto Shroom could be manually set to shoot in one of 8 fixed directions. I don't know where is that 8 specific position. I can't really think of any explanation on why did it have that. Each spore launched by the Roto Shroom deals 20 damage to any zombie it hit. It also have a 175 sun cost. However, it has a fast recharge time, meant that you can plant many of it. And next we got ZomVoid. It worked much like the Charred Guard does now, pushing back zombies that got too close. Its purpose was to create space between the zombies and your plants. Unlike other plants, the ZomVoid didn't stick around for long. After being planted, it would only last for 10 seconds before disappearing, similar to the puff shroom. Despite its usefulness, ZomVoid was cheap plant, costing only 50 sun. However, it took a while to recharge after each use, so you couldn't rely on it too often. Moving on to the next plant, we have Vacuum Shroom. Vacuum Shroom is a scrapped defensive plant. Similar to the toughness of the walnut, it can also attract zombies much like the sweet potato does. Unlike sweet potato, Vacuum Shroom had a special vacuum effect with a range of 3x3, which means it could attract zombies towards it from a wider area. When fed plant food, the Vacuum Shroom would gain a protective shield. Despite all of its ability, Vacuum Shroom was relatively cheap, costing only 25 sun to plant. This made it an affordable defensive plant. Next is Icy Current. Icy Current was a plant for Plants vs. Zombies 2 but never officially released. It was similar to the Electric Current but an ice version of it. In the Chinese version of the game, it was fully developed and could be used by players. Just like Electric Current, having 2 icy currents in the same lane or column would create an ice wall, which would slow down approaching zombies. Additionally, Icy Current could directly attack zombies by creating an ice tile on its own tile, which also slowed down zombies. Despite being fully functional in the Chinese version, Icy Current never made it to the international versions of the game. The exact reason for this decision remains unclear. Lastly, we have Maragold. Originally, the game developers planned to let you plant Maragold directly in the game. But they changed their minds because it would make getting coins too easy. So instead, they only let you have Maragold in the Zen Garden. However, some players found ways to hack the game or use other tricks to put Maragold on the lawn. When Maragold is on the lawn, it makes silver coins over time. But after a while, it falls asleep and stops making coins until it wakes up again. If you feed Maragold with plant food, it gives a big burst of silver coins and then disappears. That's how it works if you manage to get Maragold onto the lawn, even though it's not supposed to be there. And that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. And see you on the next one.